How you doing, guys? My name is Colton Phillips. I am the stables manager here at Ghost Ranch. We're here on the Ghost Ranch property, and out here at the stables, we offer trail rides here. We'll do a couple of trail rides. We have a couple of different options that we can take. Those private rides are really fun if you want to go out and do some trotting, do some cantering with some of our horses here. This is Ranger. And on our normal rides, we'll go out right in front of Georgia O'Keeffe's property. It's about a 90-minute ride or so, a few-mile loop, and go and point out all the painting sites that she did while she was here on the ranch. Tell you all the good history about the ranch, all the rich history about this land. There's been about 40 different movies and TV shows that have been filmed out here over the years. We have this cabin that they built just for City Slickers, 310 to Yuma, the remake out here. They built a whole set on the other side of the property for the movie Oppenheimer last year. We have the original Red Dawn, all the pretty horses, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Cowboys and Aliens has to be my personal favorite, of course. A big draw for guests out here at the ranch is that they know about Georgia O'Keeffe, and it's a very common misconception that Georgia owned the entirety of Ghost Ranch at one point. She never did. All she ever owned was about 7 acres out of the 21,000 acres that the ranch has total, but the whole ranch was definitely her stomping grounds when she was here. She started coming out to the ranch in the early 30s, off of an invite, from one of her friends who used to live up in Taos. Didn't work out for her, so she sent her up to Ghost Ranch, and it was love at first sight for Georgia. She started coming out here seasonally for the first few years after that. And then not too long after, she ended up purchasing her house and that 7 acres that it sits on out here on the ranch in about 1940, moves into that in about 1946. Then out here in the areas where she stays for about 38 years or so. 1984 is when she had to move down to Santa Fe, and Santa Fe is where she ends up passing away. But Ghost Ranch was definitely a big inspiration for a lot of her landscape paintings that she did while she was here. Really helped to kind of put her and Ghost Ranch on the map. And it's a very big draw for people when they come out to the ranch. We go and want to walk through Georgia O'Keeffe's footsteps, see the spots that she painted, and just be able to take in everything that she was taking in, while she was doing her paintings. So a lot of the paintings that Georgia did out here, really feature a lot of the prominent features, the landscapes that are around the property. Back behind us, there's a huge flat top mountain that tops off at about 10,000 feet or so. It's called Sierra Pedernal, and Georgia painted that one about 28 times that we know of. And she started to paint that mountain so much, people started to ask her why she's painting it as much as she is. And her answer was that God had come to her in a dream and told her if she painted that mountain enough times, it would eventually become hers. She had a caretaker named Juan Hamilton. He hiked to the top of Sierra Pedernal, spread her ashes up there. And so a lot of people did like to say that, the mountain did eventually become hers in the end. She also painted the cliff chimneys, which are also known as the Heaven's Gate to the locals around the ranch. They believe that in order to kind of get to where they want to go in the afterlife, their spirits or souls have to ascend through the columns, through the break in the rocks out there, just to give them a better shot at getting to where they want to go. And a lot of the hills that you'll see around the ranch are a deep lavender color that have a gray layer that goes through them. Those are called the Chinle Hills, and Georgia did a lot of paintings of the Lavender Hills is what she called them. She did a lot of iterations calling them the Lavender Hills with gray, Lavender Hills with blue. It's because that gray chinlay layer that goes through them really changes color with the landscape out here, with the weather. And she just loved to, really highlight a lot of the natural features that are out here. And some of the paintings that she does of the Lavender Hills, she makes that gray chinlay layer look really turquoise. And that's not too far of a stretch when she's doing that. When those hills get some moisture on them, those colors just get a lot deeper and really start to change color with the weather.